Yeah. Yeah. Uh, Hello, good morning. I'm so delighted, excited to be here with you all and continuing yesterday's chapter 1 communication. That's the first chapter in your study material, right? So I go to sharing my PowerPoint. So initially we'll have the a quick revision of whatever we did yesterday so that you all remember and recall all that has been done. Based on a few questions that appeared yesterday, I would like to clarify one thing. See, normally when it is when it is a coaching class of the language and communication skills, language skills, outside the framework of an exam and a question paper, we talk about skills. We do only about skills, and uh, we teach you how to skill yourself, empower yourself with the skills. When it comes to coaching for an exam, we do add value by way of skills, but the focus is more on the study material and the question paper that is given to you, because you need good scores in your exam when you're appearing for an exam. Number two, you also need to understand what the question paper is about and how your study material is framed and to what purpose. Therefore, I believe that if I will give a lot of examples, then your attention or your retention may be the examples and not the core answers, which may not be good for answering in your exam, because we have plenty of candidates who write examples. Suppose the question is, what is a vertical, networking in communication? If you will write an example instead of the definition, you don't get marks. So the danger of giving too many examples is that of course you have to understand the concept. Of course you have to understand what these terms mean. But that doesn't mean repeatedly we will talk about examples. Examples are given one or two if I would feel the concept is a bit difficult to understand, or if some of you have expressed that I need to repeat it. Otherwise, we don't need examples. The way I go about teaching or sharing my PowerPoint or giving you the lessons itself should be well understood. And that's the reason why we do our homework, taking in concepts from different sites, searching, Google search, curating, so that you write your exams well. Understanding the concepts are definitely important, and to that level, to that extent of understanding the concepts, I give you examples. More examples will divert your attention, and that may be retained in your memory, which may not work out for an exam purpose. When it is definition of terms, you have to write what is there in the study material. I'm not asking you to memorize. You need to understand. You should be able to write your answers in your own words, but meaningfully appropriate and exact as it is there in the study material. You can write in your own words, no doubt about it, because these are not laws, LAWS, right? So you can write in your own words, provided you are complete in its meaning and you use the most appropriate words. And that can happen only if you understand, right? To that extent, examples will be given. Otherwise, more of examples will divert your attention, and your retention may be towards the examples and not with the concepts. That is one thing that I wanted to clarify today. Why I don't use many examples, especially when it concerns terms and definitions. Okay, now going on to today's class, we'll have a quick revision of a few things, especially the terms, and then probably go on to today's class. Yeah, just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Yeah, here we are. So the question paper pattern is something that I talk about every session so that it registers in you really, really well. Total marks is 40. You have 5 parts. 5 parts are writing task and reading. Reading comprehension is a compulsory question. Unless you answer that question, your paper will not be valued. That's number 1. Number 2, these 5 parts have, each part is for 5 marks. That makes it 25. The rest 15 marks of the 40 marks will be for grammar, vocabulary and short answer questions for 1 or 2 marks, which will depend on the paper setter's discretion. Websites that will help you with business English. These are websites. Make it a point every day to watch one of these for 10 or 20 minutes so that you're able to build your business English vocabulary, structures and sentences that you can use for your exams. It is not only about using, it's also about helping you write your exams well. It is also about understanding your core subjects well. Now, these are a few newspapers and magazines that I normally read. You don't have to subscribe to all of them at one go. Maybe say this is 8th March and we just have 3 more days to go. So April, you will follow, subscribe to 2 or 3 magazines or newspapers. May, you can have another 3 sets of papers so that you get a variety of language that is being used in these magazines, especially about money matters, which will be useful for your core subjects. A sample question paper I will be showing you after I complete a topic so that you know how questions are asked related to the particular topic that we are doing. Ground rules, these are some things that I always say in my session because this is important. Have your notebook and pen to take notes. Have your study material with you while you are in the class. Now, yesterday somebody was talking about screenshots. Screenshots are okay, but you know the danger is, yeah, it's there in the screenshot so I can read it up later, you know, and that later never happens. So be interactive in the class, note it down as and when you feel something is important, something that you need to remember. That will help you for your exams too. It's not only for foundation English, across your curriculum, for whatever paper, you can, do this. Note down in your notebook, keep your study material by you and check with it all the time. Do the activities as per instructions during the session. As and when you have doubts, keep them posted. In case I miss some of your questions, please post them again so that I don't waste my lecture time hunting for the question. Today, I have another device to open the questions. So I think, that should be, yeah, that should be good. And I thank you for that suggestion. It's a good one. Please provide your honest feedback so that we fine-tune our sessions to make them effective for you. We will be able to give you the best of the lessons if you can post your feedback before you sign off. It's important to fill the feedback form. Important not only for me, but for you too. Okay, body language. So this is something that we were talking about yesterday. It comes under non-verbal communication. Okay. Okay, this is non-verbal communication, body language. How can body language make a huge difference? Now look at these. What is body language? The language that you convey or the message that you're able to understand by somebody's posture, by somebody's tone, by somebody's voice, by somebody's words. Okay, that is body language. What and how do you think we can communicate without words? We can communicate plenty of words. We understand the dog's language, the elephant's language, the animal language. We do understand. And the language is without words. Animal language is without words. Even for us human beings, yeah, you don't have to be verbal all the time. You just shrug your shoulders and say, oh no. You just open your mouth and roll your eyes and say, oh, you're shocked, kind of things. Which of these things do you think has the most impact on how we communicate? Words, tone of voice, gesture, facial expression, the way we sit or stand. Very quickly, can you post which of these has the most impact on how we communicate? Yeah. Yeah, I will give you time to write in your notebook. Don't worry. Then about this comprehension, I already told you don't jump chapters. It will become difficult for others to understand. Okay, now, which of these things do you think has the most impact on how we communicate? When does this come into importance? When you are talking in a workplace, number one. Number two, even before getting into the workplace, when you are at an interview, the employer, the interviewer gauges your way, your posture, your tone, your gesture, your facial expression, right? The way you sit or stand, and of course, words too. But which one of these has the most impact on how you communicate? Way you sit or stand? Okay. I didn't explain about steps in communication. What's that? What do you mean by steps? Pratul. Facial expressions, tone, gesture, almost all of them, yeah. Facial, words, expression, yeah. So almost all of them. And I don't think we can even rank it because they're all important, especially when you go for an interview. How conscious are you of your own body language? Are you really conscious? Do you remember that you need to take care of your body language when you walk into workplaces and when you walk into interviews? Do you think men or women are more conscious of body language? Why? I think both men and women are conscious of their body language, especially when they are going to a workplace or when they are going for an interview, because they don't want to be misunderstood, nor do they want to lose out on their chances of getting into the job. Do you think you are able to read other people's body language? I think it comes very naturally, right? It comes very naturally to understand. It comes very naturally because we do understand facial expressions and body language, gesture, and tone of voice, even without somebody teaching us, right? Yeah. Um, the next one, communication, body postures. Look at the kind of uh, signals that our body language can give. Defensiveness. You just show a scared face and then fumble and mumble. We show its defensiveness. Frustration, that you don't care and you're so worried and disconcerted, kind of disinterest. You know how you can show it even on your face. Boredom, you yawn, you break knuckles, you start scratching your head. All that is boredom. Now, why do I have to do this in detail for you? Because I want to impress upon you. You're not able to see? Let me share again. Let me stop sharing and let me share it again. Just give me a minute. Yeah. Yeah, now tell me if it's clear. Just give me a minute. Yeah. So communication, I just thought I must elaborate more on the body language simply because this is very, very, very important for interviews and also workplaces. Okay. So aggressiveness, being very furious and rolling your eyes and trying to be very, very attentive, kind of aggressive behavior. Impatience is looking at the time all the time, telling them when you want to get out, kind of things. Look at this. What do they mean? Okay, this is just to show you the different kind of body language that people can understand, right? So the first one is thinking maybe and saying wait. The second one is I don't care attitude. Third one is maybe requesting or teasing even. The fourth one says maybe shocked or I don't care or what is it. The next one is about thinking or just being attentive. Then about here again, you're disinterested and that's why you're looking out somewhere. And here looking at something else, digging at the mobile. Okay. So these are gestures that might give wrong signals. Just give me a minute. Let me see what are the steps in communication. Somebody has posted. Just give me a minute. I am going by the page. Steps in the process of communication. I don't see any steps here. At least I haven't finished networking yet. And we will go one by one and let's see if it comes later. Okay, so this is about body language and gesture. Now comes the revision part. Do you remember what paralanguage is? Mark them as true or false. Very quickly, I want this an interactive session just to know for sure if you remember whatever we read yesterday. Because there were questions on these yesterday, I mean the last session. So I just want to make sure that you all know. True or false? Quick. Yeah. Post your answers. Post your answers here. Yeah. I'm waiting for you. Paralanguage is using words to communicate. Is that right? Dancing, painting, sculpting, singing is communicating through graphs, diagrams, or presentations. Yeah, I'll come to that. Don't worry. Who's this? Types me. This is Satya. Satya, please wait. Let me finish one by one. Yeah, that's false. Super. Process of communication is what we did in the beginning. That's the definition of communication. Okay. And that's what we just did. And I don't think there are 8 steps there. No, he's referring to something else. We'll come back to that later. But in the end, after I finish the chapter 1, let me go back to see where it is. Now don't disturb the flow. Okay. So dancing, painting, sculpting, singing is communicating through graphs, diagrams, presentations. False. Visual communication is communication through visual aids such as signs, typography, graphic design, and illustrations. I hope there is clarity now. Okay. Third one is true. Yes. How is Rachel's English good for learning English? There are plenty of books, plenty of websites, plenty of trainers who train with language skills. Now, this question I will answer before I complete my session. Okay. Yeah, paralanguage is about facial expression. No, it's about expressions, that the sounds that you make, not with words, but just expressions. Oh, ah, ouch, oops, yep, a. These are expressions that are used to communicate, and that is called paralanguage. I repeat, paralanguage is using expressions with sounds to communicate. For example, a, oh, ooh, ouch, oops, yep, a, nope. All these are not words that you can find in the dictionary, right? But still they communicate. Okay, the next one. What are the types of formal communication? You have 3 types. One is, okay, quick, post. This is quick revision. 2 minutes time. Yeah. The types of formal communication. Yeah. That's vertical, diagonal, and horizontal. Okay, this is what we did yesterday. Vertical, horizontal, and diagonal. Vertical, you know, it's from the higher, yeah, super. Exclamatory words is paralanguage, yes. True or false questions, match the following, gap filling are not questions that will be in your question paper. You will be tested with short questions like define communication process. Okay. What does vertical communication mean? So they will be proper questions. So you will not be questioned as to true or false, match the following, gap filling, complete kind of. That's just to give you an idea for revision, for you to recall so that you remember what has been taught. Okay. Now, what is grapevine communication? So such will be the question. As I told you yesterday, communication chapter will have these 1 or 2 marks questions in your question paper, and you must be prepared with it. Okay. Super. I see all of you almost responding, and that makes me happy. Now, what is grapevine communication? Grapevine communication is communication within the office premises, but not in their cubicles or office spaces, right? So it is gossip in the office space. That's grapevine communication. How is it advantages? It's advantages for kind of understanding employees, to get to know what their attitudes are, to get to know their personalities. Grapevine communication is useful and helpful. Now, we move on to network in communication. This is today's chapter. Network in, I'm not giving enough time. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I will give you 2 minutes time from now, right? Yeah, I will do that. Communication outside formal domain. Yes, that's grapevine communication. I will definitely give you enough time. Yeah, because I thought it's just revision and therefore I was, okay. Yeah. The most common networks are vertical, circuit, chain, wheel and spoke, star. Okay. I'm going to give you 2 minutes time for the next task. Choose the right answer. How many networks are there in communication? Okay, post the answers. I'm giving you 2 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, now I 5. Okay. Okay. Choose the right answer. How many networks are there in the communication that I just showed? Quick. 4, 3. Yeah, 5 types. 5 types. Quick. I think I gave you all enough time now. Okay. Now look at the answer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 types. Okay. Yeah. Okay, now let's see one by one. Can you name them now? I just showed it to you for a minute and I'm going to wait for 2 minutes. Can you name the 5 networks very quickly? Yeah, super. I'm waiting for you to post the networks that we just saw. Network in communication. And 2 minutes time. Yeah. I want all of you to post quickly so that you are all with, one with the chapter. Yeah, so you know it all. Just check if you have all the answers. Vertical, circuit, chain, wheel and spoke, star. Okay, now let's go to, this is vertical network. Okay, where A is the boss conveying it to B to the employee. And B in turn responds to A. So the arrow, it is usually between a higher ranking employee and a subordinate in this two-way communication. This is a two-way communication where a higher ranking employee communicates to a subordinate, giving instructions, asking for information, kind of things. And what does a subordinate communicate? He gives the data and the details for whatever he is being questioned. What is the advantage of this vertical network? It's immediate feedback. Now, in small organizations, what happens? It is easier to work on one-to-one. Suppose there are only, say, 10 employees in a company. Okay. Then there is one person as the manager. He's the manager, he's the proprietor, he is everybody there. So he goes around talking to each of the employees and gets details about whatever he wants to know. That is called vertical network, where communication happens between the boss, the higher ranking employee, and his subordinate. The only advantage of this network is getting immediate feedback, where when the boss is giving instructions, the subordinate can come up to say, sir, that may not work, or sir, this is the best way to work, kind of immediate feedback. When you have intermediaries, what happens? When you have in-between people, the communication suffers or is misinterpreted based on their own experiences. Okay. Yeah, I will call out the names, but not for the revision. When I'm teaching, I do that, right? Yes, I am open to suggestions, but not too many suggestions, right? Now, about vertical network. When I teach, I call out names to see if you all have understood. I do definitely do that. Vertical network is one-to-one between the boss and his employee. It is a two-way communication. The only advantage is immediate feedback. But this cannot work in a large organization. Okay. Yeah. Can you draw the diagram for a vertical network quickly? And I give you 2 minutes. I don't know if the question box will permit that, but you can draw in your notebooks. Draw the diagram for vertical network, the one which you saw just now. I give you 2 minutes. I am getting all your questions. Yeah. And once you've drawn that, put an S in the question box, in the chat box, so that I know you've finished. Yeah, 2 minutes up. Yeah. You can't draw in chat box, so draw in your notebooks. Just post yes here so that I know you've finished it. Yeah, that's Neha Kumari. Yeah. Superior to subordinate, boss to, wow, super. Who's this one? Ankit. I like that diagram. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, we move on to the next one. Is vertical network a two-way communication or a one-way communication? Can you post quickly and I give you 2 minutes on that? Yeah. Shiv Prasad also. I like that diagram. Okay, now quickly post in the question in the chat box whether it's a two-way communication or a one-way communication. Quick. Yeah, two-way, 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 super. Yes. Disadvantages of vertical network are that this cannot work in a large organization. When it is one-to-one all the while, with a big organization with large number of employees, this will never work. Okay. This is for a limited, not even a limited, a very, very small company with just 4 or 5 people around. Yeah. Quick. Yeah, two-way, two-way. Yes, it's two-way communication. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Now I move on to the next one. This is a circuit network. Okay. Where A passes on the message to B and B gives the feedback. How is this different from vertical network? Because two persons communicate with each other, sending messages and feedback. They form a communication circuit. The two people interacting can be colleagues placed at the same hierarchical people in the organization. So this is what makes it different. Two people interacting can be colleagues placed at the same hierarchical people in the organization. Now, hierarchy is a word that is very often repeated in network in communication and types of communication because most of these terms are related to the hierarchy. Here, this again is between, this communication is between two people, but of the same hierarchical standards. Say a manager of one department and a manager of another department, just like the diagonal communication, right? It's between two people of the same hierarchical order. That's important in a circuit network. Here again, it is only between two people. The only important thing is that colleagues belonging to the same hierarchical rank in communication. Advantages, there are no misunderstandings because they talk face to face and there is no chance for a miscommunication or a misinterpretation. I give you 2 minutes time to read through this and to look at the diagram. I give you 2 minutes time. Just read through this, see if you understand, and then I will move. Yeah, like shops, small businesses, you see. This again doesn't work well with large companies and where employees are not involved here. It's only between two hierarchical, rank colleagues who discuss and communicate. Who says one-way communication? Who's this? Archana. Please check, Archana. Please check with your study material. Vertical network is two-way communication. Boss to employee, employee to boss. Vertical is not, we did not say the word hierarchy. That is the difference. Hierarchy is the ranking of the employees. So how do people rank? How do offices rank people? The general man, the CEO, the general man, these are all appointed people, right? CEO, general manager, managing director, then manager, middle manager, class 4 people. That order is called hierarchy. please look at the spellings and see that you don't make a mistake with the spellings, because this is quite often repeated throughout this networking. This is a two-way, two people interaction. Vertical network is where boss to employee, employee to boss. Circuit is where two people of the same hierarchical order communicate. That is circuit network. Okay, I think I've given you enough time to read through. So now, here we go. Fill in the gaps quickly. Manager of different departments can be an example of circuit. Karpagam, that's a super answer. That's exactly what it means. Circuit network, when managers discuss about the functioning of the office, they probably will discuss about the finance, the expenses incurred, the problems faced by the employees, the late coming or the absenteeism kind of things that departments can discuss as a common issue. Two-way communication is A to B and B to A. That is true. A talks to B. B also talks to A to give them the details. Yes, project manager, HR manager, all this. Circuit network doesn't come under one-way, two-way kind of things, because each one speaks whatever they feel, because they have the same hierarchical order. One person doesn't wait for the other person to talk. They can all suggest something. They can all agree to something together. Yeah. I mean, both of them, because it's again two people discussing. I'll come. Don't be in a hurry. Who's this Tata Group? Arun Kumar. Just wait. We have three more networkings to discuss, right? Yeah. Yes. Yes, super. So I've got the answers. Now, the third one, chain of command. Now here A is the boss. The boss dictates to B, A dictates to B, B dictates to C, C instructs D. Same way, A instructs E, E does it to F, and F to G. So there is one person in authority who delegates, who gives orders, who gives instructions to his subordinates, and the message goes in the order of the hierarchy. Probably A is the CEO. One minute. A is the CEO. He talks to his general manager. The general manager talks to the manager. Manager talks to the leader. Manager talks to the leader or the employee below his level. Same way on the other side, A talks to E, E talks to F, and F talks to G. The greatest disadvantage of this is that the message that is conveyed by A can be misinterpreted according to the understanding of the employees in the hierarchical order. Okay? Yeah, that's good, Kavana. Yeah, that's a circuit one. Okay. Now you have plenty of questions. In the case of emergency, can you directly communicate with A? This is Suprada. Every organization has its own policies and principles. The moment you join an organization, they'll give you a list of do's and don'ts, They'll tell you what is important, what is not important, and you have to follow accordingly. Where they will also tell you whom you should report to, who is your immediate boss, whether you're taking permission, you want leave, or you want any clarification of the project that is getting done. All these things you will have to ask your immediate boss, and the orientation will let you know who is important for you. Now, in this chain of command, chain network, so the answer to Sukrita is, it depends on what your company tells you. What networking they do is what you need to understand first when you get into a company. So they might say you can walk in straight into the MD's room and say whatever you want to and ask him whatever you want. Some companies say you must go only through your immediate boss. You cannot ask anyway. Okay. Yes, in the book, spelling of command is wrong. Yes, in this chain of command, there is delay in passing on the message, because once A gives the message to B, B will take his own time to convey it to C, and C will take his own time to convey it to D. Not only is the time a disadvantage, it is also about the message. See, I tell you something, you pass it on to the next person based on your understanding. Okay, it may be close to what A has said or may not be also. So that's the greatest disadvantage of this chain network, and organizations don't prefer this. 20 years before, 30 years before, I think this was the kind of organization networking that people did in offices. But now, because of technology, with the email, with the hotline, with the texting, things have changed. But still, some companies follow the hierarchical order. I know some companies, even during lunch break, they have separate places for different departments, different kind of employees. But most companies, especially MNCs, see to that they all sit together. The CEO, the MD, the manager, they all sit together with all employees to have their lunch. So that makes it approachable, that makes employees feel at home. So MNCs and large organizations today prefer sitting together and discussing instead of the hierarchical order. We have not yet come to that, so don't get confused. Chain of command is now not preferred by companies, and I don't think anybody is using that. Yeah, it is very time consuming. It is also, there are also plenty of chances to be misinterpreted and miscommunicated. So chain of command disadvantages are more. Now look at this. The communication pattern that follows the chain of command from the senior to the junior is called the chain network. This is not vertical networking, because there it is only two ways. Here it goes on till the last in the rank. Okay, senior to the junior, and to his junior, to his junior, to his junior. That's how it goes. Communication starts at the top, like from a CEO, and works its way down to the different levels of employees. The supervisor, manager, CEO gives commands of instructions to those working under him or her in the organization. B, C, D, and E, F, G are the subordinates to A in the organizational hierarchy and receive commands from A. The chain network often takes up a lot of time and communication may not be clear. So, to put it in very simple words for you, A is the boss or the supervisor or the manager who gives information to C, B, C, D, and E, F, G in the hierarchical order and receives commands from A. Okay? The disadvantage of this is it takes a lot of time and communication may not be clear. It may also get misinterpreted. Okay? Yeah, good. I see many of you have posted answers. That's a good thing. I'll give you a 2 minutes time to read this, and then I have a question for you. Quick. I'll give you two minutes time. read through this. Chain of command networking is now not in use in either small or large companies because it doesn't work well. Yeah, there is no reverse process, G interacting with D. Yeah, that's for Chandan. Yeah, Chandan Kumar. Chain network is not useful at all. You call it large or small. I told you, G here, because they work only on hierarchical order, there are no instructions that can be taken from G, F, or E. See, the fact that I said, oh, that's a great suggestion and I can use another device for the question, okay, is not like chain of command where I only dictate and you only take it down. I am also open to your ideas. So that is what works nowadays. Okay, so this chain network doesn't work much in MNCs and coming to that. Wait, who's this? Karpagam, you have to wait. We haven't finished it, right? Is it a one-way communication? Yeah, it is. But we don't call it one-way because A conveys to B, B conveys to C, C conveys to D. So you don't call it one-way. Okay, now let me move on. Chain command doesn't have any big advantage. There's no question of G communicating to D. Okay, now let chain network complete this very quickly. Yeah, there will be no feedback in chain network. That's the biggest disadvantage, Moksha. There may be incomplete work. Yeah, but Mosam, there may be incomplete work. Also, it is impossible for one person to check everybody, right? It is very time consuming. That's why this is not agreeable. MNCs and companies, let's see what works. Okay, so quickly post the answers for the blanks so that, yeah. Or your communication is vertical network? Yeah, maybe. Like all of you students are B and I'm A. So A dictates to B and B responds to A. Yeah? Yeah, it is vertical. Okay. Have you posted the answers? I'm waiting. Yeah, post the answers. Yes, yes. So that tells me that you have understood. Yeah. From top, what's that? Who's this? Ganesan, what are you saying? Senior to junior starts from top, okay. Consumes time, yes. Not clear. Oh, you're giving the answer, right? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, now let me go to the next one. This is a good one. Wheel and spoke network. Now, this has been tested. The question for this networking and communication goes like this in your past question papers. Either they ask you what are the types of networking and communication, okay? They might also ask you, what do you know about wheel and spoke, or write the working of vertical network. What are the disadvantages of a circuit network? Kind of questions can be there. In the past question papers, this is a frequently found question, the wheel and spoke. Either they ask you for the advantages, or they ask you what does it mean, or they ask you to compare wheel and spoke with a star network. Okay, so it is up to you to be prepared with all of them. Okay, yeah, good. I see all of you have posted your answers. That's super. Yeah, so wheel and spoke network. This is an organization where there is a single controlling authority. The wheel and the spoke is the wheel here, okay, and the spokes. Just give me a minute. Yeah, the wheel and the spoke. The wheel is there around. The fulcrum in the middle is the boss or the CEO or the manager, whoever. And the spokes are the employees. So one man manages all the employees. One man gives instructions to all the employees. There is this one man who can delegate work. There is this one man who will manage the whole show, whether it is a profit or a loss. This is an organization where there is a single controlling authority who gives instructions and orders to all employees working under him or her. All employees get instructions directly from the leader and report back to him or her. It is direct and efficient for a small business or company, but an inappropriate way of communication in a large organization with many people. A company with employees needs more decision makers or nothing would get done. Can a large conglomerate like Reliance or Tata's have one person making decisions? Moreover, if the single central figure is not competent, the entire business will suffer. Now, this is about wheel and spoke network. First, understand what a wheel and spoke network is. It's like the middle of the wheel, that's the boss, who will delegate and give instructions to his employees. That's the spokes, the wheel and the spoke, controlled by the fulcrum, the middle one. Now, instructions are given to the employees and directly from the leader. There is no wastage of time. The message is direct and therefore no misinterpretation or miscommunication, and work will get done well because there is a good rapport between the boss and the employee. Three advantages. One is there is no wastage of time because the message is direct. Two, since the instructions are direct, there is no room for misinterpretation or miscommunication. Number three, the rapport between the middle person, the boss, and the employee will be great because there is constant interaction. Therefore, the functioning will be smooth. Now, this can work in small companies. When Tatas were a single unit with a small group of people working, with say 20-30 people working, this is what happens. They use the wheel and the spoke network where the rapport is great, where the message is conveyed directly, and where no time is wasted. But when Tata's became a conglomerate of many organizations, do you know how many they have? Tata Sons, TCS, Tata, this Airways, I don't know what they call. They are planning to buy Air India. Okay, so that Tata Steels, Tata Iron, Tata, the software stuff, all Indian softwares, most of them are managed by TCS. Let me give you examples. The passport, okay, application of the passport, getting of the passport, the billing that is made at all. Conglomerate is a group of companies that come under one big company. That's for Kanishk. Okay. So when it is a group of companies, Wheel and spoke network will not work. It will become difficult to manage. That's number one. Now we are talking of disadvantages. One is, if it's a large company, it will not work. Number two, if that one person is not competent enough, the company will suffer. That's number two. Number three, if the central figure is not dynamic, there again the business will suffer. So wheel and spoke network is useful in small organizations where there are just 10 or 20 people working. Okay, but in a company where there are groups of companies within, like Reliance, the Tatas, the Birlas, the Mahindra, Aziz Premji's foundation, and all MNCs, Cognizant, Infosys, HCL, all these are big companies managing a lot of plenty of other smaller companies within them. They are a group. That's a conglomerate. You can look at the spelling. Okay. So if that is the situation, then wheel and spoke network will not be useful. Now let me repeat everything one by one, because this is a repeated question in the past question papers. A conglomerate, yeah, I told you, Wipro, yes. Conglomerate, I said, is a group of companies within the same company. For example, Tata's and Reliance. Okay. What is wheel and spoke network? Just like the wheel, which has the middle fulcrum, the boss delivers instructions or delegates work to its employees or the spokes. So there is one person who is superior and who is a single controlling authority who can give instructions and orders to all employees working under him or her. What are the advantages? Advantages, the communication is direct, there is no waste of time, and there is a great rapport between the boss and his employees because they are in constant touch and connect. What are its disadvantages? This will not work in large companies because one person cannot be a single authority for everything. Number two, if the central figure is not competent, then the entire business will suffer. Then there cannot be a single controlling authority who can manage many smaller units in the same organization. Okay, yes, Walmart is a super example. Who's this? Pooja. Yeah, that's a good example. Now, let me go to the task. Fill in the blanks. I'll give you 5 minutes for that. Quick. So 5 minutes will include your answers and your break time. Okay? Or maybe I'll give you 7 minutes. So we'll get back at 12:05. Yeah, the difference between wheel and spoke, that's for Suprada. Circuit is between A and B, okay, which forms a circle. But wheel and spoke is, you have the wheel, the middle one, the fulcrum, and then the spokes. So there are plenty of employees to whom this person has to communicate, okay. Police department, no, it won't come under that. That's for Shiva Prasad. I'll tell you why. The police department anyway is controlled by the state government. Okay. And one person giving instructions, because I don't know about the police department, whether employees can suggest or talk, or is it just one man's authority which delegates and instructs? I don't know how they work. But all I know is it's important for them to listen to the government, because it is the government is a single controlling authority. Anyway, they all come under the government. Fulcrum is the main part of the wheel. We say the wheel and the axle. So the boss is the fulcrum. Fulcrum, you must have heard the term in your science book. Yeah, I told you 5 minutes, right? We still have time. Yeah. So I'll wait for you till 12:07. See, this is just to help you not only understand when I explain, but also the writing will help you retain the answers so that you won't have any doubts. One glance before you go for the exam will help you write your answers really, really well. Yeah, super. Vertical and circular. Oh my. See, you keep repeatedly asking the same questions. Yeah, I told 12:0. Yeah, I'm sorry, not 7 minutes, 5 minutes. Yeah, it's like one person, that's what it says, single controlling authority. That's why I make you write also so that you get the words, the terms, use the right words. Difference between vertical and circuit: vertical is up and down, circuit is around. And circuit is between two people of the same hierarchical ranks. Vertical is boss to subordinate. These things have become outdated today because people don't want to treat somebody like boss. It's a teamwork today. Whether you're at the higher ranking order or at the lower ranking order, it's a teamwork, and based on your experience and your brilliance, you are given increments and appraisals. Otherwise, this vertical and circuits don't come into picture at all. Wheel and spoke is still there in a few organizations because it works if it's a small company. Difference between vertical and circuit, I've already said. Yes, this is single controlling authority. Yeah. See, if you can remember the keywords for each of these networks, it's going to be easy for you. Actually, that's what is important, to remember the keywords. Yes, Mehdi, your answers are right. Yeah, I am giving you advantages and disadvantages of all the networks as I speak. As I go stepwise, I do give you the advantages and its disadvantages. If I have not mentioned, it means there are not many. Okay, like the wheel and spoke has quite a few advantages. It also has a few disadvantages. Therefore, I've said it. Okay. Now, let's move on. Star network. Star network is a beautiful network. It has been repeatedly asked in all the past question papers. This is supposed to be the best. This is supposed to be followed by all MNCs today. Why? Because there is no hierarchy. Like in Tata's group, if Ratan Tata would walk into the office, everybody can come and greet him. People can discuss issues with him. They can sit together over a cup of coffee and talk about their results, talk about their. It can happen. It is allowed. People are approachable. In a star network, people work as a team. There is no hierarchy at all. They work as a team and they work towards a common goal. It's only business. Therefore, Star Network is the most preferred networking in all companies, and this is the networking that is followed in plenty of organizations today because the hierarchy doesn't work anymore. People want to be friendly, whatever be your rank. People want to listen to, want to be heard, want to speak out. So you cannot have a mixture of all networking. That's not a good idea. That's for moksha. You can't have a mixture of all. How the mock test? When you are through a chapter, just be there. Don't jump to mock tests. Don't jump to other chapters right now. So somebody has been repeatedly asking me what is the best network. Star network is the best. Advantages that there is no waste of time. Two, people are approachable. People work as a team. So if something goes wrong as a team, they are answerable. Not one single person is singled out and questioned. As a whole team, they are answerable. So star network is what is preferred in most companies, and MNCs take up only to star network. They don't follow other networks. Yeah. If your answers are wrong, MG and K, I would call out. Okay. Yes, teamwork is what matters in a star network. Yeah. So look at this. The star network has multiple channels of communication. So there is not one way of communicating up and down or down and up, or the wheel and spoke kind of thing, or the circuit or the chain. It has multiple channels. You can use any way. Open between all members. You will not be questioned on that. This network propagates group communication and is essential where teamwork is involved. The members communicate and exchange information with each other freely and without hindrance or hesitation. There is no hierarchy followed. I repeat, the star network has multiple channels of communication open between all members. This network propagates group communication and is essential where teamwork is involved. The members communicate and exchange information with each other freely and without hindrance or hesitation. Okay, now complete the blanks. No, I'll give you 2 minutes time to read this and then I'll give you time to complete. This is for puja. There is no circle in the study material for the star network. This was picked from the clip part. So the circle is there. So that doesn't matter much. It is just to show that all channels, multiple channels are open for communication in a star network. It is just to show that. There is no negative marking in this paper. Yeah, hindrance is hinder to obstruct. Hindrance is obstruction. Somebody who prevents communication, who prevents, information, instruction. So there is nothing like that. Nobody will hold back any information because anybody can walk in, discuss issues, give suggestions for the smooth functioning of the entire organization. So there is no hindrance. Now, quickly fill up this. Yeah, propagates publicizes, speaks loudly, announces for people to know. Yeah, that's Neha. Tells people, delegates, instructs, all these. Propagates is generally announcing to a lot of people. The, the biggest advantage of star network is a teamwork. There are multiple channels for communication, no misunderstanding, no hindrance. It is direct and it is quicker. Maddie, such questions you must ask the board, not me. Okay, waiting for your answers. Yeah, I'll give you 2 more minutes because you have quite a number here. Don't get into such details, Sakeburaza. Yeah, don't get into such questions. Okay, just get to know about the networking in an organization, so that when you get into a workplace, when you get into an office, you know, you're able to understand, you're aware of the kind of communication that happens there, so that your working is smoother. Okay. So don't confuse yourself by saying two people communicating in the star network. That will make things difficult for you and it will confuse you. Star network is using multiple channels between a range of people working as a team. It is direct and all that. Usually the question is asked. The question is about the differences in relay network and star network. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So I see plenty of you have answered. That's really, really good. Yeah. Now say whether these are true or false. As I told you already, you will not be questioned as to true or false or match the following or filling up the gaps. You will only have direct short answer questions for 1 or 2 marks. And therefore, this is just for your understanding and for you to remember and retain for your exams. It's just for that. Yeah, true or false? Quick. I think the last one, there is a mistake. Chain network is a pattern that follows from the senior to the junior. This has been written ulta. So just be careful about that. Quick. You have to mark whether they are true or false. Yeah. In Star Network, it is a decision made by all the employees. Where that's why they have this voting kind of things. So to say which one you'll agree, which ones you don't agree, kind of. So based on the percentage of votes, and then they have the board that decides where you must have 30% of attendance, 30% of votings, all this stuff. All this is star networking, where it works as a group or a team. No one person is responsible for any decision. So anything that goes into a problem is also answered by the entire group. They sit together and decide what can be right, what goes wrong, kind of things. Yeah, so let me give you the answers. You may check your answers. Two colleagues interacting at the same hierarchical level in an organization is called circuit network. True. Star network is popular in large companies. True. This network has multiple channels of communication open between all members, and this is wheel and spoke network. Multiple channels of communication, wheel and spoke. False. When two people communicate is called vertical network. True. Wheel and spoke network is best beneficial only for small companies. True. Chain network is a pattern that follows from the junior to the senior. That's from senior to junior. And instructions go down this network. Takes a lot of time to reach, and communication is never clear. Okay. Answers, I have said the answers. Who's this? Suprada? I just said the answers. Between two people is vertical. See, in a circuit, hierarchical will be mentioned. That is what will give you the clue. Second question, true or false? It is true. Star network is popular in large companies. Is very true. Okay. I hope it's understood. Now, let me tell you the importance of star network. There has always been a question on star network in the past question papers, and therefore it is important. It is asked separately as what is star network, or what are the advantages of star network, or compare a wheel and spoke and star network. You should be able to answer. You will be able to answer correctly only if your idea of star and network and wheel and spoke are clear. Okay. Why, ma'am? 4 is true. When two people communicate is called vertical network. That's true. Prashant, I will look at Rachel's English and give you information. Give you my comments next session. Don't worry. Okay. So we move on. Can you list the keywords for star network? Now, this is something I want you to do because there are several reasons for this. Today, Twitter is very popular in social media. And how do you get connected to Twitter? By the hashtag. How do you search for relevant details in the Twitter? It's by the usage of hashtag. What is important in hashtag? Keywords. Today, you want to search in Google, you want to search in Twitter. These hashtags and keywords play a great role. Unless you are able to foresee, visualize, think about keywords, then your searching will get diverted or distracted. So, this is just a training for you to think about the keywords when you're reading. Okay? Quick. Oh my God, this one, Safina. Two people communicating from boss to junior is vertical. Circuit is two people communicating, two people of the same hierarchical order communicating. That is the difference. Okay. Last is true. You want to be fast, some say slow, some say fast. How do I do it? I go by the way you all respond. If many of you have said the same answers, then I keep moving. It is not slow. Completing paper on time will be in the last session. Okay. Okay, can you list the keywords for star network? You might be a person, I mean, this is for This is for, my voice is not visible or audible. This is for Bimbika. Why do you teach so slow? You might be a person who can grasp it in a second, but there are others who will want more time. So these sessions are tailored to suit all types of learners. Okay. Yeah, thank you. And I see the keywords coming up. That's really, really good. This is just to tell me that you are with me and you are able to follow whatever I'm saying. This makes it interactive too. That's really, really good. Yes, yes, faster communication. Go slow, ma'am. Okay. So one will say go slow, one will say go fast. That's not the way we work. Wherever we can listen to you, we do, but not for everything, right? Okay. Now the next one. Next, we move on to, so before, I'm going to give you maybe 3 minutes time to post your doubts if you have, because we have finished networking. Okay. Post doubts if you have. I'm giving you 3 minutes. 25, I move on to the next one. Quick. I give you 3 minutes for getting your doubts clarified in networking. Super, all clear. Everything is getting, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So the next one in this topic will be, this is a task for you. Are you all ready? Okay, I'll give you 3 minutes break. Just have a sip of water and be ready for the next task. Keywords means important words for an answer. Yeah. You've all, yeah. Wheel and spoke is nothing but, I showed you the picture. The boss is in the middle. That's the fulcrum. And the spokes, okay? Those are the employees. So the boss dictates, gives instructions to the employees, and the employees do their work. That is wheel and spoke. This can work in small organizations because one person is a single authority and he cannot manage several companies within the company or several organizations within the company. So if it's one small unit, it works. Wheel and spoke works. But in when there are huge big companies like MNCs and Tatas and Reliances, this doesn't work. Okay. Whatever I have suggested as websites and magazines and newspapers are all free source. Star Network, there is no minimum or maximum. There is a leader in wheel. Yes, that's for Suprada. Yes. Chain network, where instructions go only from the boss. Nothing is taken from the employees. It's a dangerous thing because if that one person is not a competent person, then the whole business will go for a sixer. So chain network is never followed nowadays. Also, entrusting one person with plenty of authority leads to scams and embezzlement kind of things. So people don't get into it. Nowadays, organizations don't prefer that. Yes, in Star Network, everybody is a boss. If I feel something very strongly that something will work, I can go say that. Star Network, I have just shown you, right? The keywords. All the blanks are keywords. Look here. Multiple channels of communication, all members, group communication, teamwork, freely, without hindrance or hesitation. These are keywords. Okay. Yeah, definitions are enough. I'm just trying to do it in detail so that all of you understand what it really means. Yes, large firms use only star network. Yes, I tailor the lesson so that you will remember everything in detail for answering in the exam. They are meant to be that. Okay. Now, this is the next activity. 8 slides will be shown in a matter of 8 seconds. I repeat, 8 slides will be shown in a matter of 8 seconds. Watch carefully and then you'll have a quiz on that. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, I repeat. Now, can you quickly post as to what are the 8 things that you saw in the 8 slides? Very quickly. All that you can remember. Post in the chat box the 8 things that I just showed you. Quick. And I'll give you 2 minutes time. Super. Yeah, I'm giving you 2 minutes time. Yeah. Oh, so many have. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I give you a minute more. Yeah, almost all of you have. Yes. Okay. Now, you can just check if you have all of these. Now, I want to ask you questions. Do you think my communication is clear? If you think yes, say yes and also say why. Quick. If you think my communication is clear, say yes and say why. If you say no, also say why. Quick. Now, this is the next task. Is my communication clear? If yes, say why. If no, say why. Past question papers have had a question on these. So it is very, very important for you to know the answers, to know all the answers. If yes, you must say why. If my communication is clear, say yes and say why. Maybe, who's this? Who's this? Anjali, you must also substantiate, not just say maybe and get away. Because of good internet speed, yeah, okay, Vishwabandhu. Okay, not because of me, because of the internet, right? I'm clear. Okay. You must say why also. If you say yes, say why. If you say no, no, quiet. Huh? Who's this? Bhavya, tell me why it's not clear. Mm, Bhavya has to answer. Yeah. This is Logeshwari. Logeshwari, revolving through one line because it is repetition that will help you register the answers in your mind for the exam. And that's the reason why it is deliberately done. What is this false, false, true? Gargi, which question are you with? Okay, the next one. Is it concise? Do I talk a lot about one particular thing, or is it just brief and to the point? Do I bring in plenty of examples? Do I say stories and then miss out on the focal point? Yeah. Who's this? No. Pratul? No, for what? I don't understand. Are you saying it's clear, or are you saying it's not clear? Yeah, Pratul, I don't understand what you've said. Okay, now, concrete. Is it relevant to the exam that you are going to take? Say yes if yes, and also say why. If no, also say why. Quick. Is this directly related to the study material that you have and is relevant to the exam that you will be taking? Is it concrete? Okay, okay, Bhavya. I think, yeah. Pavitra, what is no, Pavitra? I don't understand. Pavitra, you must give me an explanation. I don't understand what you're saying. What is this no for? Karpagam. It's not concise? Is that what you mean? Okay. Okay, the next one. Coherent. Is it continuous? Is it continuous? Or is there a break? Is there that where I talk something else and then come back to this? Is it coherent? Is it continuous? Yeah. Yeah. So now you have to say if it is coherent. If you say yes, say why. If you say no, you have also to answer why. Don't just answer in single words. Quick. This simple no does not mean anything. Pavitra and Karpagam. You have to add a few words to mean what you say. I should know why you're saying no. For what is it that you're saying no? Okay, now complete. Are my lectures complete? Do I leave off things for your own understanding? If yes, say why. If no, say why. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Elaborate the point. Yeah, I will elaborate, but this is just to make you interactive and also for you to understand on your own what they mean. I will do the elaboration. This is for Pratul. Yeah, Pratul. Quick. Okay, 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 okay. Now the next one, courteous. Am I courteous? Now what is courteous? Courteous is being nice, is about being kind. Is my communication courteous, or am I getting angry with anybody? Am I being aggressive to anybody? Do I raise my voice? Do I shout out? Yeah, quick. Am I courteous in my communication? If yes, say why. If no, say why. Quick. Hello, I don't see your comments. Yeah. Okay. So listening and understanding. So listening is when you listen and when you understand, when you post in the chat box, I get to know that you are understanding and therefore you're listening. Focus and attention, when you are interactive, I also get to know that you are focused and attentive too. Emotional awareness and control. What is this? So when I'm angry with somebody at home, I can't come and shout here. Okay, that is being in full control, not laughing for irrelevant things, not crying away because somebody hurt me. So those are things that can be when we are out of control. Okay, so now let me go one by one to elaborate on these. Communication has got to be clear. It has to be very, very clear factually, with the language, with the words, with the tone, with the voice, okay, with the body language, the gesture. You cannot have noise that comes along with your words, then it will make it unclear. Concise, it has to be to the point. That's very important. You cannot, for just for saying one sentence, you speak a whole story, then that's not being concise. Concrete, it has to be complete and full of facts. You cannot give wrong answers. You cannot state things, of wrong things. You cannot quote wrong facts. That is about being concrete. Coherent is about continuous, where you go step by step. So, beginning, I told you the question paper model. Then I said these are the marks that are allotted. Then I gave you a few ground rules. Then I show you the question paper. Then I say, look, you must have these things. Then I ask you for interactions to see if you all understand stuff. Okay. So that is about being coherent. Who's this? Bashutosh, you have to be polite and respectful. Oh my God, am I not polite and respectful? Ah, anyway, okay. So it has to be coherent. It has to be complete also. You cannot have incomplete communication. Then courteous, you have to be nice to when you speak to people. You have to speak with a smiling face. Even if you are going to speak to somebody who's not been pleasant to you, you still will be courteous and speak with a smiling face. That is being courteous. Listening and understanding. Communication can be effective only if you listen and understand. Okay, focus and attention. You have to be focused when you are listening, when you are at a lecture, when you are reading something. So that is important. Emotional awareness and control, I just told you how important it is to be in control of your emotions. It's very, very, very important. Now see if you can recall and quickly write down how many are there. How many are there that will go to make communication very, very, very effective? How many are there? Can anybody say quickly? Can anybody say quickly? How many? How many points, essential points are there that can make communication effective? Concise is in short. Yeah. How many are there and what are they? What are the essential elements that go to make up communication very, very effective? Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to play a video for you, and you have to post in the chat box after watching the video whether this video is only for 3 minutes, whether this communication covers all the essential points that can go to make it an effective communication. You have to say in the chat box whether the communication was very effective and for whatever reasons. Okay, quick. Now I'm going to stop sharing this. Yeah, and then I'm going to share with you a video. The task is you'll watch the video for 3 minutes, and then you have to answer whether the communication that was done was effective. If you say it was effective, you must say why it was effective. What are the essential points it covered or it took care of? Okay, I repeat. First step is to watch the video. Second step is to see how many essential points did this speaker cover or take care of in communicating effectively. Three, if you say he has been effective, you must also say what are the things, essential things that made this communication effective. Now I'm going to share this video with you. Just watch and listen to this and then post your answers in the just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. I've stopped sharing this. Now I have to share this here. Yeah, here we go.
Hello?
Hi, is this Alyssa?
It is?
Hey, Alyssa, this is Barack Obama. I used to be the president, you remember?
Yes.
So I am doing phone banking for Joe Biden, and you're one of the people I'm calling.
Oh my God.
How are you doing?
I'm having a panic.
Don't, uh-oh. All I want to do is to remind you that Election Day is Tuesday, and this is going to be a really close election, and I'd love for you to vote for Joe Biden and Kamala. And if you don't know your polling location, I can give it to you and give you any information that you need.
I will be there, and I am so excited to vote for them. I can't wait.
Well, that's great. And make sure, are you reaching out to family and friends and all that?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, you tell them Barack specifically asked them to please vote.
Oh, I will tell everybody that you told me to tell them.
Who's that in the background there?
This is Jackson. He's 8 months old.
8 months old. So you've got a new guy in the house.
I have a new guy. Yes, I do.
Well, he sounds like he is either hungry, needs his diaper changed, or just doesn't like mom giving attention to somebody else.
He's like, when I go into phone calls and meetings, he immediately starts talking. I think he just wants to talk.
Well, that may be it. If you want to put him on the phone, I'm happy to talk to him. Hey, Jax, what's going on, man?
You say hi, Jackson?
Hi. Do what your mom says. I would chat for you for quite some time, but when you have 8 months old, you can't be on the phone too long.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for calling.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. So that's it. Now you will very quickly answer my questions. What are the essential features that this speech conveyed to you for communication? What essential elements did this speech cover for communication? Was the communication effective? If you feel yes, it was effective, you must say why. What are the essential things that Obama followed, that Obama, was able to? Why was the speech effective? Did he take care of all the C's? Quickly post in the chat box so that I know you understand what it means. Very quickly. Yeah, you must say, was the speech effective? 2, if it was effective, what are the points or elements he covered while communicating? Quick. Yeah, I'm going to give you 2 minutes time to answer that question. Yeah, so let us go from the beginning. Was he clear? Yes, I think he was very, very clear, because even in the first instance, he said who he is. He said why he's calling up. Yeah, he said, I'm Barack Obama. And then he goes on to say why he has called. He said that I want you to vote for Biden. Yeah, because of this reason. So his tone was right, because he was talking to a stranger. And remember, he was not putting on the president's hat to say, look, I've been the former president. That is not the way he spoke. He said, do you remember Obama? He was a former president. And then say, oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. So the tone, the voice, the choice of words, the concreteness, he spoke substance. Why did he call? He wanted that person to vote for Biden. And he spoke so well, clearly. There was no mincing of words. There was no mixing up of ideas. There was no confusion in whatever he spoke. He was coherent. Then he heard the baby's voice. Then he says, who's that at the back? Then he says, listen to mom. That is to establish connect. So that this lady will remember when she goes to vote, she'll remember what Obama said and then she'll vote for Biden. It has to be that clear. Politicians have a knack of speaking really, really well. Of course, not all politicians. Many of the American presidents have had, I mean, the best of the speakers have had a chance to become presidents. So it depends on how well you can communicate. And that's very, very, very important. Okay. So that's just an example for effective communication. So the question in your question paper would be, what can make up an effective communication, or what is meant by effective communication? Write 3 or 4 essential elements that go to make up effective communication. So these are the kind of questions that you will be asked. It is normally for 1 or 2 marks. You don't have to worry about that. Okay. And your answers have also got to be simple, relevant, complete, and concrete. You don't have to write stories. You don't have to write paragraphs. 1 or 2 marks, maximum 60 to 80 marks, not more than that. That's how your answers should be. Now, it is 12:50 and we have 10 minutes. Quickly post your, what will you recall out of this session? That's number 1. What will you be able to remember for the exam? 3, whether the session was clear for you. Please fill in the feedback form and then sign off so that we tailor our lessons to make it more effective to you and for the exam that you are going to appear, right? Yeah, quick. Now this is feedback time. Fill up the feedback form. Also post your feedback as to what you will remember, what you understood well, and how well this will help you in your exam. Quick. Yeah, that's a real video. But Obama did call up people to campaign for Biden. Yeah. Yes, he followed every C's. Yes. Yeah, it was an informal talk, but not very informal, remember. Okay, he made it very formal. He was not asking about what did you cook today, where did you go shopping. Those were not the kind of questions. He spoke about the baby just to establish a rapport, to help her remember that she has to vote for Biden. Okay, that's important. Yeah, quick, and your feedback will mean a lot to me. And please sign in the feedback form too. Quick, I'm waiting for you. Yeah, I think I'll close this other device because I'm not getting the questions properly. Just give me a minute. Yeah, I'll open it here. Yes. I'm just looking at your questions. Yeah. I'm not getting your comments. There must be something that's gone wrong here. Okay. Yeah. So just give me a minute. Let me look into your questions because here this is an opening. Yeah. Yeah, here I am. I opened it in this. Yeah, this is much easier for me. Yeah, super. I've seen all your posts and all your comments. Yeah, that's really, really good. It just tells me that you've been along with me throughout the session, all the 2 hours, and would be wonderful if you can post your, your comments as to what you will remember what, for the exam, and how much you understood out of this session. The reason for going quite slow is to help you understand, well, because this chapter will have 1 or 2 marks questions for 5 marks and will be very, very, very important for you. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So many comments. Yeah. 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 He speaks formal. It is formal communication. Yeah, it is. It was a formal communication because he did not call to chat. He had a purpose. He wanted to say vote for Biden. Okay. Thank you, Pooja. Thank you. And I know most of you have said that you've learned really well. Yeah. See, this is the first session and you're a new batch. Until I get to know all of you by way of your chat boxes, I have to, see that all of you understand, all of you are one with me. That's important. I wish I would take at least 3 out of my 15. What's that? The way you presented things was so understand. Okay, thank you. Didn't take your doubts. Who's this? Sudesh, can you post the doubt again? Maybe I missed it. You will recall the video. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Remember everything. Yeah. So that's what I want you to do. Remember everything that has been done in the class, and one glance at your study material, you should be able to score the best. That's the whole objective. Yeah. Coherent is being continuous, not without any breaks and starts. Who's this? Pratul, what's your question, Pratul? Recall all, see next session. Yes, I always revise before I start off with the next one. Thank you for the happy Holi. Speaking fast is no credit. Not being too slow is also good. Okay, that's for Veni. Yeah. Pratul, what's your question? We're talking about some 8 steps in communication. Where's that? Probably the characteristics of effective communication is what you've been mentioning. Is that Prabhu? 8 steps of, here, introduction. The main steps inherent to all communication are the page 1. Yeah, the purpose of communication is what we saw. The contents of the message is whatever you have to communicate. Medium is the language that you choose to communicate. Transmitting the message, how well you transmit the message. Messages are often misinterpreted due to external disturbances such as noise created by humans, traffic, and natural forces. These factors can result in miscommunication. Receiving the message, deciphering and making sense of the message, or decode, interpreting and figuring out what the receiver thinks is the real message. This is the whole communication process. That is, you must have a purpose to talk. You must know what the contents are. You must know to whom you're talking. You must know the language that you're going to use. You must know how to transmit the message, with what kind of body language you will transmit. You must also take care that the message is never misinterpreted. You must know that the receiver is listening to you intently. Why do you think I'm asking you to post here in the question box? To know if you are listening and understanding. That's the whole reason. Then decoding, understanding the message that has been said, put across. then interpreting and figuring out. So when you post in the question box, I know that you are interpreting it, that you have understood it. Okay? Please revise. Yes. Yeah. Happy Holi for all of you. Yeah. Yes, courteous and down to earth. No, courteous is being very polite, nice, and kind. Okay, I think I've answered. Pratul, I've answered your question. The 8 steps to communication is the whole process of communication. Baby won't understand. Who's this? Soundarya. Baby won't understand, but that baby is not going to vote. But if Obama talks to the baby, the mother will remember to vote for Biden. These are all strategies in communication. Yeah. Wow, it's time at it's 1:02, and see you in the next session. Bye bye. Happy Holi and have a great day. Bye.